Live from Newfoundland, this is Brian with Breaking Tables.
It's the mafia, you know I'm rocking with the Bills. It's the mafia,
This is my
you know I'm rocking with
background.
the
This
Bills.
is mine.
It's the mafia, I'm with the Buffalo Bills. It's the mafia, you know I'm rocking with the Bills. Hey,
What's going on, guys?
who you reppin'? What's your team?
Weekend starts
Who you
tonight.
reppin'? What's your team? You know I'm reppin' for my team. I got that talent on my team. Like a high Jordan Boyer, can you catch it?
Tampa Neal. What's up, buddy?
What is up, Brian? Happy Thursday to you.
Best in the AFC. All the praise of Brandon Bean. You hear Sean McDermott clapping while I'm
The
snapping.
2022 season up ahead. Weekend start tonight here on Breaking Tables. Tampa Neal. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
Not much. How do you like my new background, bro?
Good week, right? I do.
Huh? Yeah.
I like the new digs.
This is
There's
a
a guy not
live,
moving in the background.
live feed. This is live feed. I paid that guy $100.
Just stand still the entire time.
You're moving. Yeah, good. Thank you. This is going to be epic, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Thursday. Weekend start tonight on the Built in Buffalo Network. If you're tuning in, go ahead and hit that like, share, subscribe button. Makes us feel good, and we wake up in the morning, and it makes our hearts grow a couple extra sizes larger. Right, Neil? Yeah, that's exactly what it does. This episode is always brought to you by BuffaloAutographs.com and Coco's Fashions, which they're going to be on next Thursday. Just kind of FYI, guys. Yeah, I know this is going to be episode. It's going to be epic show. This is going to be an epic show because we've got a special guest on the furthest east. Think of like the total East Coast. It's like the Maine of Canada. Let's go ahead and get him on. Ladies and gents, without further ado, present to you Brian with East Coast Bills backers. What's going on, Brian?
What's going on?
What's up, buddy? Dude, I don't know if you noticed, but I think your your man cave is very similar to my man cave.
Oh yeah, we're flipped. I was gonna throw out the nickel tour, but you're already there. So I mean, there's no point in going that direction. We got it both angles now, which is good.
Nice, dude. Nice. Ladies and gents, this is Brian, East Coast Bills backers. This is actually his house. This is a green screen. I'm just taking credit for it just for tonight. Yeah, it is a green screen. I know. Hard to believe. But we got the man himself, and he doesn't need a green screen because he is there at ground zero. Brian, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining the show tonight.
Thanks for having me, guys. What's happening?
Not much, brother. So this is really cool. We have so much. I have so many questions. I'm sure Tampa Neal's got a plethora of questions. Without getting into that man cave, we'll address the elephant in the room here in a second. Where are you from, Brian?
Well, as you kind of said earlier, I'm from the East Coast. I think I'm probably in the area of about 1,200 miles away from Buffalo. So we can go a little further east, but I'm kind of getting towards the edge of it. There's a few other provinces outside of me, but we're kind of getting out there.
Nice, man. And you became a Bills fan because that's kind of a crazy scenario because we've met some international fans who just they have this unique story on how they became a diehard fan of the Buffalo Bills. You're not an exception. I'd love to hear that story, dude.
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm a middle boy, so I've got an older and younger brother, and kind of grew into me from my father and my older brother. I remember them watching games back in probably the mid to late 80s. Not to kind of age ourselves a little bit, but I remember them sitting down watching the 90s series for the Super Bowl runs and all that sort of stuff. And we started traveling to games. Oh, God, it would have been, I think, in the early 2000s. When did Bledsoe come in? Like 02, I think maybe?
Yeah, 02.
Yeah, like that, yeah.
01, no, you got hurt in 01, 02, 03. Yeah, he was there for 3 years.
It was in that realm. So we've been kind of going to games for 20 years now, sometime in that realm. We sort of make that travel every year, but it kind of come in by way of, I think one of your other guests mentioned that, maybe Ken from Vancouver mentioned that when you get into the broadcast around here, you've got a couple games you can watch, right? You can watch the Patriots, you catch the Lions every once in a while, and you catch the Bills. And there were times over the years when they were blacked out a lot, but there are a lot of games when that's the team we catch. So, we caught them sort of at the cusp of going into the Super Bowls, and then over the years when everything was kind of in the dirty zone, and rode them all the way through. Well, now you can see kind of where we're at, right?
And you built how old is this amazing man cave that we see behind you and myself?
So this one here, I just transitioned it about 2 years ago. So the actual place itself is about 12 years old. And I think I've come in here in 2010 and put the first sort of iteration of it together. So it went through a change 2 years ago. the spot that I'm sitting in right now, I guess, which is sort of behind you, this was the original bar. I went in here, I built the whole place, come into this spot, and all it was a concrete floor and studs in the wall. So, and this is actually a lot of people, when they go on and comment online, they talk about how this is a great basement and all that stuff. This is actually a separate building on my property. So it's a nice spot to kind of go out and be loud and do your thing, right?
Wow. Serial killers do that with separate
They do.
parts of the house. It's just, you're just a serial Bills lover.
No, it was good, man. So I come in here and built this place up. I think in 2010, I had a motorcycle that I sold. Took I think about $5,000 from that sale. Put it into this place and started everything from scratch. And everything that was in here, I kind of touched with my own hands. Built it, refurbed it. I've got some cool stuff. Like I've got an old Pepsi fridge in behind. Well, I guess it'd be in the corner of that, your back right corner on your picture. And I found that
Nice.
Probably about an hour away from the 90s. And I pulled that apart, refurbed it, a few other things. Cast my concrete table that you can kind of see back here. Threw the Bills logo on that. So I kind of touched everything in here, which is neat. It gives me sort of that I guess, sense of pride when I come in here. It kind of makes it a little better, right? We get in here, we enjoy it, and we put it together ourselves.
See, this totally like negates what I've been told growing up. I've been told growing up is if you don't work really hard, you'll be living in a bar. You worked your ass off, and look at you. This is your house. You live here. This is your literally your backyard, your serial killer room. You know,
I had to build a spot when I get kicked out of the house, right? Somewhere that was nice to go stay is pretty much the way I got to look at it. So,
no, it's definitely a feature. It's definitely up there on terms of man caves. Fellas like us who don't have time to do that or the necessary skills to do that, we get green screens. We take people's thunder.
That's a beautiful spot to get there.
So East Coast Bills backers is this is kind of you somehow found a group of people to come join you because that's a big facility. It looks like it could hold. I mean, I thought for a minute I was like, does he own a Buffalo Wild Wings in Canada or something? I don't know.
Yeah. No, it looks a little bigger in the videos. It's about 600 square feet, which is a decent enough size, right? But there's probably anywhere from 15 to 25 of us, depending on the time of the year and the time the game's on and all that sort of stuff. So we, I think we've seen in here probably max about 32 people getting into like the Super Bowls and some of the larger games of the season and stuff. But we've got like a dozen. It's not a real big group by any means. It's probably a dozen, 15 of us that are rolling in here every single weekend, having some drinks, enjoying the games. But
it's pretty awesome.
This is the first, and it's just Bills only.
This is the first like Bills backers bar where the bar is your house.
Yeah. And I actually, right here, I actually had a full legitimate bar here for a while. So when I pulled it apart 2 years ago, I brightened it up a little bit and threw some extra pool table in and shuffleboard table. And I wanted a walk-up bar, a little more room to kind of scatter around a bit in here and have a good time. So, but it looked like a full-on bar there probably 2 years ago.
Do you have a separate section for people to break tables on?
I don't, but you know what? We need to do that, and we'll probably have to film it on here, right?
Yes.
Dude, that's awesome. And it's not like you can go to every game. I mean, 1,200 miles away. I'm sure you went to a game last year, right?
You know what? COVID screwed us. COVID's been
That's right. Yeah.
Every year since, well, what did I say? Probably 01, 02. We've been hitting one game a year. We usually go when the schedule comes out. We'll pick out one home game and we key on it. There's usually a half a dozen of us that go. We'll stay on the Canadian side, Niagara. Sometimes we'll see if we can
find a spot in Niagara.
Yeah. So catch a Sabres game, or we'll see if we can catch a Raptors basketball game back in Toronto and double them up, depending on the time of year we go. So, but every year, and except for the last two where COVID kind of fucked us over a bit, but we'll get back this year.
Nice, dude. Nice. And
get any away games?
Yeah. Well, I've been down to see the Patriots at Foxborough a few times, which is a shit spot to go catch a game, by the way.
Is it really?
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you something. I went there a few times during the Super Bowl runs when they have three and then they had a break and three more or something, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And the fans down there, man, like tea time, man. Yeah, everybody was spoiled and stuff. But I did get down there one time. I think Brady had a bad game and somebody threw rocks at me, and I was kind of smiling because it made me feel at home a little bit, going back to Buffalo and watching games where it's just rowdy, right? So, but no, it's a horrible environment to watch games.
So we're all in agreement that the Patriots fans are the worst fan bases in the world, right?
Yeah. I'll tell you, we've been crowded on the East Coast with them for years. So it's nice to see us kicking the shit out of them now because they've all gone quiet. Radio silence all across.
You know, it's funny because back in the 90s, we weren't dogging the Patriots at all. We were just loving our team, and that was it. Bygones be bygones. Yep. Sure enough, they're losing the past 2 years, 3 years, or whatever it is, since Brady left them in a dark spot. And they're still hating on us. Like they've never hated on us before. It's just like, dude, take care of your team. We'll take care of ours. No need for that outside shit, right?
Spoiled fans.
Spoiled, exactly.
Here we go. So we do this thing, Brian, where if we get a question on the show, we have to read it out loud. I don't know. Can you see your screen right now?
I'm going to work at it. If I need to, I'm going to get real close.
Okay, because you got your first comment here of the night. We'll go ahead and let you say this, but you got to do. You got the thing. The clutch thing is you got to do it in a different accent, either you're a famous person, a famous cartoon, a robot, or an alien.
Oh my. Okay, so a robot or an alien? He has to have house rules. I'm curious, what are those for the people that come over? This is my my Irish Australian robot, by the way.
Oh, good.
The most important rule, I imagine something like Steve is banned. He always eats the burritos and Saturday night before game days.
You sound like a robot in Outlander.
Right. Like, yeah, I was going to say, sir, we could see your kilt. So you got to have some sort of rules, right? Rules for the house. All right, guys, listen, you're coming to my home. I mean, if you're automatically a Bills fan, you're automatically cool. But do you have to set those kind of rules?
I think the only rule I have in here, honestly, is don't spill shit if you can. I mean, other than that, it's pretty much, you know, the boys that come in, everybody that comes here is pretty respectful. I mean, they see the place and they're like, I don't want to mess it up, right? So, yeah, I try not to get too many fans of the other teams in here. I mean, on game day when we're playing somebody, like, you're not fucking getting in here if you're not wearing a Bills jersey.
You want to watch your team? Go to my closet. We got plenty of Bills gear.
I've had friends of mine. One of my best friends in the world was I don't want to say a closet Patriot fan. He was a Patriot fan, and I would not let him in here. Ultimately, what happened was we ended up taking his jersey. I swapped him out for a Bills one, and we burned it during a Patriots game at halftime.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, he's been a Bills fan ever since, right?
I had a friend of mine that was also a Patriots fan, and when he come over for the games, you know, we would watch it right in the living room, and I told him, like, TV and the lanai's yours. You're outside. It's hot as shit out there.
Stay there for a while and sweat.
Yep. So being a fan, okay, and this is one of the biggest questions that we've asked. You know, we met a lot of backers throughout the area, whether they're officially a backers or they're just officially a diehard fan. Okay. That's the whole premise of this summer. Because if you want stats, X's and O's, there's a lot of other good podcasts out there that Built in Buffalo provides. Okay. Go check them out. This here, we're just we want to get to know the fandom, because the fandom, like, you know, you, Brian, you living in Newfoundland, you don't even, you know, you go to Buffalo when you can, and you still have that Buffalo atmosphere in your home 1,200 miles away, which is absolutely a beautiful thing. You got to feel good waking up in the morning going, this is my house. Yes.
So I'm going to catch you. So it's not Newfoundland. I'm actually in New Brunswick, and Newfoundland's further east. We got
to end the show and start all over now.
Yeah, it's done. Okay, so let's kick it back to the beginning again.
That's why you didn't realize this my background. Well, the same time zone, right?
You know what? I don't think it is actually. I think
you're an hour ahead. That's what I was going off of. Oh, I'm an idiot. That's what
I think Newfoundland, I think it's like 30 minutes difference off me, so it'd be a little different time zone again.
Okay,
everything's messed up.
All right. Well, at least we made it on time. That's all that mattered.
I was a little worried about that.
I mean, it's still up north. Okay, it is still north. That's like the difference between Maine and Vermont. I don't know. you got to have some sort of rituals that you do. Okay, being a Bills fan, we've all, we've seen that epic commercial on like the superstitious kind of behavior that we do, and Bills fans is more, they come out more than other fans. Hence breaking tables. Okay, I broke a table that one game, we won. I'm breaking the table again. Are you superstitious, Brian, or just a little stitious?
We got some stitches going on here. I kind of mentioned to you guys at one point to make sure you brought a bottle with you. I think you both brought one anyway. So the first one I go to is I've always got my game day ritual. So I set my gear out in the morning, whether it's my jersey or my Bills gear. Usually I throw this bad boy underneath. I'll show you these. I got the I don't know if you can see those. I got the old the
Nice.
knickers. They got to stay in.
They look so comfortable. They look so comfortable, bro.
So those guys got to come out. I got to have gear out, whether it's my jersey or my sweater. That goes out first thing in the morning. It gets laid out. And we pretty much roll into here game day. A few hours beforehand, I'll come out, lights go up, get the music going on. So I've got my setup so music can pump outside as well. We get that all rolling. People start showing up and get into the games and stuff. But the bottle, as we talked about, we've always got the pregame. It's got to be before the coin toss. And we've always got the halftime shots. So let's hit that up now. And
all right. I'm about that one. Cheers, everybody. If you're watching this, viewers, please drink responsibly. I don't want to get sued again. But this is for Brian's absolutely amazing man cave that I might just use for every single show that I do now in my background. Tampa Neil is on his monthly. Oh wait, no, he is drinking. He's drinking chocolate milk. That's cute. Everybody salute, cheers if you're still watching at home. Again, Brian, thank you. Cheers, brother. I like this ritual. Oh, I don't like this ritual. I don't like psych. That was actually good. Okay, that was one of your rituals. Okay, you wear the amazing comfy shoes. You got your gear, you do your shots at certain times, certain intervals. Is there anything that you've done that you were like, I'm going to pick up this superstitious thing and you lost and you're like, I'm never doing that shit again? What is wrong with me?
We don't really get into too much into that we lost, so we're not going to do stuff. A lot of it is that it's the prep and the stitions for the win. And if we don't get it, well, we did our shit, right? Something went wrong. So, I guess probably one of the big ones, if I was going to throw something out, is that I try to always wear a jersey if we're going to be away, or wear an away jersey, if we wear a home jersey, if we're going to be home. Try to pick a player that I think is going to be a difference maker, whether it's Allen, who, every week he's going to do his thing. But if I feel like we need defense against the game, I might throw on a Tremaine Evans jersey, a Trey White jersey, something like that. And I try to match it up with where we're going to be. Now, if I throw a home jersey on them or away, that might be one of those things where I'll take it off and and throw it out afterwards. If there was one, that's probably the one. But we try to throw all of our stuff. It's sort of, again, superstitious or stitious. It's the same stuff all the time, same orders, roll it in, right?
It's only crazy if it doesn't work.
100%.
Now, when Trey White went down after Thanksgiving, what jersey were you wearing on Thanksgiving, and did you burn it right afterwards?
I would speak no comment on this, and I plead the fifth.
Right, fair enough. Moving on. Guys, this is so cool. It's awesome to get a different kind of perspective internationally. COVID did kind of screw everything up for a lot of people worldwide. We knew the whole thing with Canada. You had to just go through so many steps just across the border when, back in my day, when I was growing up, having a fake ID was like, that's where we got fake IDs, was across the border in Niagara Falls on the Canadian side. That's, having a ID at 14, you are cooler than cool. I'm just saying. My friend told me. But us living down here in Florida, we did, it was like back to normal. Like, I don't know, I'm not going to toot our own horn. It's not going to be political, but it's just, it sucks that we didn't get to see a lot of our friends on the Canadian side. That's what affected the game. So when people were laughing, well, why are the prices dropping? Well, because our friends who are season ticket holders, like 10 miles away, can't go to the game. It's got to be frustrating.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't know what the actual numbers are, but feel like what I've seen before, we make up 30 or 35% of the fan base that goes there. I don't know if that's the actual number, but it's quite a large number, I think. So,
and there's a bunch of people coming down from Southern Ontario that, they get season tickets. I mean, I remember seeing that people had won the lottery part to get the playoff tickets, when they only had 5,000 fans there. And they were like, well, we won, but we can't cross the border.
Yeah.
It's got to be a good number if people wanted to even consider moving it to Toronto. They had to been, on a business platform like there's a huge chunk of untapped fans here. I'm going to come, but people there it's going to grow exponentially. Business move, yes. Community move, Buffalo Bills. Fuck those people who want to move Buffalo, right? Like Bon Anchovy or whatever his name is.
Yeah, yeah. Or Donald Trump or whoever the fuck was. But you got to tell me something here, man. What in the world were you thinking bringing up us potentially having the Buffalo Bills come to Toronto? Like crazy. That can't ever happen. It would never happen. It
would never happen.
It's if you everybody goes to cities, right? Everybody goes to cities and you see historical house and they have a plaque on it. Orchard Park, the whole city just should be historical when it comes to football. You can't, that'd be the same thing saying, well, we're going to move Green Bay, to Vancouver or something. It's like, stop it. It's a staple. These teams that been in these small market communities since the whole thing started, right? 1960.
Well, that Toronto series, man. I don't know if there were too many Canadian fans that thought that was a good idea. I'm pretty sure most of us thought that was shit. It was even hard to watch those games, man.
I mean, those games were horrible for one, and the Bills fans would not go up there for it. People in Buffalo, the Buffalo area, they would not go up there for that game. So ticket sales were horrible. That's why Pagula's like, yeah, we're done with this.
Yeah.
No. Here's a question. Okay, so let's devil's advocate here. This is the live show. Let's just try to get some suggestions out here. How the fan base of the Browns leaving because Deshaun is coming in with everything that's going on with Deshaun Watson. You think that influx of Browns fans leaving that team to another fan base would be more or less than the Bills fans if Bills had they moved to Toronto, leaving the Bills as a fan base? You think that would put a rip in that fandom community?
Come September, that stadium's still gonna be full of Browns fans. Face reality.
You know what?
It's not gonna do anything.
And this is me kind of saying this off the cusp, but I kind of think Tampa Neal's right. I think that right now there's something to be said, and I mean, should they have picked him up? No, man, the guy's a bag of shit. That's just my opinion on it. I think the guy's a bag of shit. I don't think he should play in the NFL again. Yeah, sure.
All in favor of bag? Yeah, he is a bag of shit. Raise your hand. Okay, this is by anonymous decision. Congratulations, Deshaun Watson. You are a bag of shit. You suck. So, yeah, he is. I mean, it's nothing you can do in terms of that. And then you got a guy like Calvin Ridley who gets kicked off the can't play because he wanted to gamble. I just
$1,000.
Yeah, I know, for a parlay,
literally,
for a $2,500. That's like
what
he makes at practice before season starts at pre-mini camp. The first,
it doesn't make sense. A year suspension for that, and
no, not the same. What was the most magical game you've ever been to? Let's say I'll leave the door open between that you've ever been to, or what you've seen in your awesome man cave.
So
best game all time. You can't say Super Bowl. I mean, obviously that'd be
No. Shitty ending to the game, but probably one of the most fun games I've ever been to, and one of the most depressing endings was the Bills Cowboys Monday Nighter. That was a fun game. Probably one of the biggest games I'd been to in a long time up to that point, and it was everything I kind of hoped. And I could have been completely dreaming this when I kind of think back to it, but I seem to remember going into that game, the Cowboys kind of were on a roll at that point, and we were sort of in and out. Trent Edwards, a quarterback, right? Marshawn Lynch and Liam and all the boys, and I think that they were literally chirping the shit out of us all week that they were going to run the score up on the Bills and set records in regards to like scoring differential. So I seem to recall that when the bus pulled up, it kind of what is it, like a One Bills Drive or whatever the actual street's called, running up into the stadium. I'm pretty sure that it got pelted with like beer cans and all kinds of traffic and all that shit. It was amazing. And then the game itself, I mean, what did Romo threw 4 picks in his first 5 passes or something like that, and Terrence McGee, I think, ran one back. It was a crazy fucking game, man. And then it went from like the highest of highs to like the last minute and a half. Trent Edwards, I think, tried to throw a back corner to Lee Evans. It got picked off, and I mean, you guys know all that stuff. And I literally went from feeling the greatest joy in the world to literally wanting to throw up. All in the run of a few seconds. Well, I think we remember sitting and watching that game, saying, "Okay, well, there's no chance with the amount of time that they're going to score, and then they're going to get an onside kick, and then they're going to do this. It's just lightning would have to strike us all right now, and we'd all have to fucking die." And then, of course, everything happened that was going to happen, and T.O. shot his mouth off about his kicker kicking 106-yard field goal.
That's my quarterback, man.
Exactly. That was probably the most fun game I've been to, like ups and downs and stuff. But
that's the life of a Bills fan. That's the life of a Bills fan. If you could tell a story to depict a heart rate of a Bills fan, is this constantly. I mean, we could even if we're winning, our heart is still going like this.
Because we know something crazy could happen. Because
it's just a bad taste in our mouth where we know it's going to sting somehow, somewhere, it's what happens. Maybe that's the new curse that we have to break. Right?
Yeah. I think we're conditioned to it, right? Because we went through so many years of you get into a situation where the game's going well, the Bills are on the verge of maybe winning, got to put a nail in the coffin, and then all of a sudden shit goes to hell. And oh my God, here we go again. And it doesn't matter. Even now, we're playing good football now. I mean, we're in essence spoiled, right? We spent the better part of 2 decades playing kind of dirt football, always being that, like mediocre team that was maybe getting to 500, scratching to 500 most years. And here we are now. And it's funny because we're spoiled enough that we're complaining about sometimes coaching decisions and sometimes bad quarterback play. So, you know how it is, right? But we really have no bone to pick in those fights because we're really spoiled right now. We're in a good spot. I mean, anybody.
It's a good problem to have. I mean, we lost the game, but we still finished 10 and whatever, or 11 and whatever, 12 and whatever, 13 and whatever. Before it was 3 and whatever, 4 and whatever, 5 and get the hell out of here. I love it. Come on.
That's not how many years that we didn't make the playoffs, right? And then all of a sudden we got playoffs. So how do you? And I get frustration sometimes, but I think that this is going to sound bad to say, but long tenured fans, people who've been around since like the 80s, the 90s, all through the garbage years for the better part of 20 years. I mean, we're sort of sitting pretty high right now, right? I mean, is it frustrating getting to the championship game and losing? Is it frustrating losing again this past year to the Chiefs in the fashion we did with 13 seconds? It's shit. It really is. But you know what? I think we're going to come back. And the AFC is fucking nuts this year, but I still think we're going to dive through it. I really do.
Here we go. This one's you again, my man, Brian. We got Runk Mike commenting here. Go ahead. This one, do another voice. Do a famous actor.
Oh my goodness. Let's go.
Do Matthew McConaughey.
Let's go.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Let's go, Sean. It's crazy how much
yes.
Years.
Fucking nailed
Do
it.
that, Tama. Get down. That was awesome. That was actually really good. I want to hear it one more time. Just can we go ahead and say it?
It's crazy how much has changed in the last 5 years.
My boy Kaprosh agrees. That was fucking hilarious. Get down.
Yeah. Mike is laughing so hard he doesn't know what to say.
I totally forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, this is Bill's podcast.
So, Brian, what is the worst game you've ever been to?
Oh man, that's easy. So we had a game. I don't know what year it was, but we had a group of friends who were literally just starting to get into football, and we had convinced them that they had to go to a game. So, and as I told you before, we usually go with 5, 6, 7 people max, and we'll go and we'll spend 4 or 5 days there and have a good time. So we decided we were going to try and get a group recruited, and I think we ended up taking like 13 people. And I think I told you before, we're the better part of like 1,300 miles. It's like 1,200 some miles of the game, and we always drove up until we did. So we didn't make the last 2 years because of COVID, and then the 2 years before that, we flew for the first time. We drove. It was kind of a rite of passage thing. We just load vehicles and we get a bunch of booze and we drive. Sometimes we drive straight through, and then sometimes we'd stay and just find somewhere on the road, stay somewhere overnight, and then away we go. So, but
you guys always drove straight through. Come on, pass me another beer, Merle.
Throw on it. Hey, listen, as long as the guy driving only has a couple, right?
Good to go.
Luckily, well, I don't want to say the FCC doesn't listen, but yeah, keep going on. Carry on. Go ahead fast. Nobody heard that.
We recruited everybody up. We had like 13 people. And we went to Bills Browns game, and I fucking finished like 6-3, and it was all field goals. Wind was horrible. I think Roscoe Parrish was running, muffed a punt that game or something. It was nuts, man. Like, and then of course all the guys that we went with, they were like, "Fuck this! We're never going back to another Bills game again. This is garbage." And nobody ever did, except for our normal guys, right?
You know, you
Right, you know
still
what?
love your fan base, but when you make a haul that far, that's a lot. You're investing a lot of personal time, whether it's relationship, financial, whatever. It's a lot of time you're taking away from your everyday routine to go that far and then that far back for a 6-3 against. Yeah, I get it. I would be pissed off too.
Brian, my worst game is very similar to yours. We also played the Cleveland Browns. This game was in Cleveland. It was a fucking blizzard, and the final score was actually 9-6.
Nice.
That game sucked.
Did you drive 1,300 miles though, Tapanil?
No, we didn't drive there.
Oh, okay.
luckily,
So I
but
don't want to hear that story then, because that does not relate to his pain and suffering that he had to do.
That's when I found out that the Cleveland Browns fans may be the worst fans in the NFL.
Yeah,
I will say that.
it's not.
Brian,
That's
what's
not.
your worst game?
I'm not talking about my worst game ever.
That you've been to? Come on, what's your worst game you've ever been to?
Not even going to say it. Nope. Starts with a J word.
That's the worst game ever. That was a bad fucking game. Don't get me wrong, but
What was
worst ever?
this year? Like this past season, the J word, how crappy the weather was the day before for the, and even the tailgate. No, it's got to be the worst ever game ever. And that's why we don't even say that word anymore. And that's why we don't even say the D word or drive near that county anymore. Tapanil.
Right, I do not go that route anymore. That's for sure.
Nope. Oh, I got to drive up 95 to go to Savannah? Not going to happen.
Nope.
I will fly to Atlanta and drive over. How about you, Tapanil? What was can you think of a worse game than that? Don't even say
I told
it was
you
a
that-
shitty miracle.
That Cleveland game was worse.
Really? Was it worse than
That
that?
game in Cleveland was way worse. The fans are worse. The fucking city sucks. The game sucked. It was a blizzard.
Okay, here's a hot topic. What was a shittier shitty? What was a shitty? Cleveland or Jackson? J word.
I don't know. They're both pretty bad. Especially back then. I heard Cleveland's got a little bit better, but they're both pretty damn bad.
It has to gotten better with that LeBron guy. I don't know.
It couldn't get much worse.
Here we go, Tapanil. This one's you. We got Runk Mike again.
We'll see you here. The Bills versus Carolina 9-6. As A. Jones dropped the ball in the end zone. It was all about 36-minute drive for me.
Yeah, all right.
That was a rich car driver.
I prefer the Arnold voice from
The
Brian.
Arnold voice is way better. Don't get me wrong.
Brian, you want to go ahead and read it to us again, please, in your voice?
You want me to do this?
Yeah, an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice. Just because,
It's always good. Yeah, Bills versus Carolina, 9-6 score. I think Zay Jones dropped the ball in the end zone, and it was about a 35-ish minute drive for me.
Didn't have to take the chopper. Oh my God, you guys are killing me. This is hilarious.
I was actually doing a Darryl Waltrip impression.
Who are you doing?
It didn't work.
Is that a race car driver, Daryl Waltrip?
That is a
I
Daryl.
thought-
Yes, yes.
I
that
thought
is a
it
race
said
car
Barbara
driver.
Walters.
Same person.
Barbara Walters?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Barbara Walters. No, I can't do that one. That's awesome, guys. Go ahead and keep with that funny content, the questions here, because we've got Arnold, Brian from East Coast Bills backers, and Tampa Neil doing, I don't know what kind of voices he's doing. That's his normal voice. He's just
Me
talking
neither.
in his normal voice.
Pretty much. I gotta hear
anyways,
from you, man.
so we've all been through our string of shitty games that we just, that what's make the success so much better, because as fans, we've seen really crap, not just games. No, we've seen crappy years. We've seen crappy years, crappy decades. Okay. Let me just go ahead and say, let's not say that one. Let's go ahead and say, Tom Brady, right? So that's what makes us appreciate victory so much better. Luckily for Brian, once they start easing up the requirements to get back in, I think 2022 might be a good time for you guys to revisit that road trip again. Just how good that we're playing. Would you reconsider that road trip?
Oh man, we're looking forward to it already. We've April 1st, man, I think is when everything's starting here, where they're gonna drop all the requirements. And I've been chatting with the boys, Blake there from the what do we got here? Can someone read the next comment?
You got it, Brian. It's you.
How does he sound like? Can anyone read the next comment in Stephen Hawking voice?
There goes our Disney Plus contract.
Thank you. Is that how Stephen Hawking sounds? I forgot Stephen. He's like, astrophysics of the world. And he's like, got a straw. Do I have a straw here? I could just use my strong hand, child. All right. Before we definitely get FCC'd. Oh, too much. What is the beer of choice living up there in New Brunswick, not Newfoundland?
So I'm drinking all local stuff right now. So these guys, I'll see if I can show you. Pickeroons. I'm kind of a craft beer type person. So we've got Pickeroons, Pump House. It's another one. They're pretty good. What else do I got? Those are both New Brunswick beer or New Brunswick craft beers, and then this one's called No Boats on Sunday. This one's from Nova Scotia, which is probably about 4 hours away from here. So that's a cider. I like getting all the local stuff as much as possible.
Nice. I'm surprised nobody has asked yet. Maybe I'm the only one that thought of this. So taking that trip 1,200 miles, your dog's got to be tired with the dog sled. Oh, you got
I see where you're going.
Bad joke. Didn't they make movies about that?
Yeah.
Or use reindeer or something? Isn't like that guy that gives toys out? That is funny. Okay, so this year, what game do you have this year circled on your calendar? Like, we're going, because they're going to open up the floodgates, and it's going to, I think every single game is going to be just absolutely sold out. Every single game this year is going to be sold out.
Home game, man, I'll be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure. I think that my bud, the guy that's doing the standstill back in your picture back there, I think we're going to take a trip to this guy, and this guy. The guy who's behind B. The guy I said, yeah, he's the best stander in the world. He's the greatest guy in the world. Pausing stand, and he can jump like a motherfucker too. So there he is.
I told you not to move.
Yeah.
He's good.
I think we're looking maybe to go down to Vegas this year and catch that game.
Oh,
not Vegas.
LA. Sorry, not Vegas. LA. We'll catch the.
How about Miami? We're having a pig roast, bro. Come down to Miami.
That could be a do. That could be a do for sure.
Yeah. Right, put that one down. Whenever that calendar, I'm like, you know what? Miami is a nice area. I heard traffic is very friendly. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna leave it at. So I don't want you to say I'm going to fucking Vegas.
Yeah. So I guess LA, I guess is what we're looking at going. So for the away game, I'm gonna do 2 this year. I think where I missed a few the last couple of years. Home game, I have no idea, man. I'd love to see us kick the shit out of the Patriots. I'll be honest with you. I've been to a few Patriots games over the years, and of course we've been close in a few of them, but we've lost them all. So I just
we'll see you. We'll see you in New England then, right? It's probably a little closer for you.
Yeah, it's close. It's probably a 7-hour drive to get there, but I don't want to go back to that shithole. I really don't.
You've got some fast dogs.
Best dogs ever. really, really husky.
We're losing followers. Peter's like telling everybody, don't listen to these guys.
Our TP and Peter is going to screw the shit out of you guys.
I think Miami and Arrowhead are probably, I love Miami. I live here. Hello, my backyard. But Arrowhead is definitely going to be one of them. And it's probably going to be definitely 1 or 2 home games for me. And we're looking at like Chicago, maybe even Boston is a big possibility too. Oh, I want to go to every fucking game this year. Tampa, Neil, how about you?
LA for sure, 100%.
LA,
Chicago, definitely. Cincy is a definite as well. I want to, like, those are the 3 that I really want to make sure that I hit because those are 3 stadiums I have not been to.
Yeah, Chicago would be fun for sure.
Dave Kaprosh. So Dave Kaprosh is his mastermind who holds his own little special tailgate over at O'Neill's Parking. I mean, this man, when we went down to it was the Bills versus the Patriots game, right? You know, the game that Tampa Neil couldn't go to. And we had the perfect game. I'll just call it the perfect game. Let's call a spade a spade. Well, we were all inside the warmth of Larry Palmy's house till about 4 or 5. We lost track of time. We're like, oh shit, we got to go to the tailgate because we're having too much fun at the house where it was warm. And our boy, Dave Kaprosh, was setting up this huge, like this mini tailgate concert. I mean, he's like the Jay-Z of tailgates. So next time you're down, my man, we will definitely send me a message. We will get you. We'll all make it a point to go up there and we'll all party up with Dave Kaprosh because he does some funny things up there. He does some things where you if a phone rings, only thing I can recommend is to make sure you answer that phone. Right, Neil?
Yep.
Well, let's set it up. We got to do it.
We'll just leave it like that. We'll cliffhanger. So that's going to be awesome. So all these different things, the NFL is kind of rocked right now. The Buffalo Bills are like, we got to compete with all these like these big time titles in the NFL world. You know, you got Devontae Adams going to the Lakers. You've got all these other big names that are just going to different teams. And here we are. We got Von fucking Miller. How do you feel about Von Miller coming to our team, our humble abode? Let's start with that one, Brian.
Man, we needed that, I think. Well, if you look at, I guess, the teams that are playing catch up right now, right? Like Miami, look at the stuff that Miami went and did. I mean, we'd be sort of foolish to say that they've kind of caught up in a sense, right? Tua is going to be the X factor there. If he plays shitty, which we know he's going to do, then that's going to be the right? But we know our offense is kind of what it is. We traded Bees for Crowder, right? And I think if you look at his numbers,
upgrade. That's an upgrade. I look at that as an upgrade.
Yeah, me too. I think if you look at his numbers,
people, that is an upgrade.
Yeah, Tampa Neil doesn't agree. You know what? I'm going to agree with you, B. I really do. If you look at his numbers, if you look at his yards after catch, if you look at his basic numbers, he's 5 years younger, I think, and he commanded a quarter of the contract. I mean, I love Bees. I really do. I mean,
my dog's not named Crowder though.
the old Crowder.
No, my dog is named Beasley.
Yeah, we're gonna change your dog's name or no?
No, I'm not changing my dog's name.
He hopes that Beasley goes to Tampa to play with Tom Brady so he can give it to his Tom Brady neighbor fans who are Tampa fans. And here's a Beasley jersey.
You got to change that damn dog's name. It's not going to know the difference, man. Come on.
No, just like make it rhyme with it. Like, hey, Easley. Josh Easley. I don't know. I'm done with it.
I do think it's an upgrade. I really do. And I think that Miller's a stud, man. I mean, that contract's big. People are kind of scared of it, but it's going to be 3 years. I mean, I think when you look at it, it's a 3-year contract. It's a good buy. The guy's got lots. And I don't think I think he normally plays 75 or 80% of the snaps on the field. And
that's all we need him for. That's all we need him for.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? I'll be honest. I don't even think he's going to play that much. I think they're going to get him in for 65, maybe 70 tops. I mean, we have a rotational system, but I'm going to tell you something. All three lines in that defense are fucking scary this year. All three lines.
And you got Gregory Rousseau just learning from the best, who is a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The number one defense just got better.
And Von Miller's big play. He's a big play guy. He in the big games, he makes a big play. 13 seconds doesn't happen with him.
No.
He makes a play. He goes out there and makes a play at that point and ends the game.
That's
exactly what they needed.
We're all
we
in
can
this.
talk about 13 seconds a little bit at some point here because
but do we really have to though? That was kind of a long time ago, Brian.
Why is it was? But what
all right. No worries, man. No worries. So while he talks about 13 seconds in the waiting room, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Let's talk about it, man. You're the star of the show, man. Well,
you know what? I suppose you're right. There's nothing really to say about it. It was an epic disaster. You know what I would have done in that situation? I would have had the boys go out and I would have said, line up, man, hold the shit out of the guy that you're playing opposite of, take a flag.
Dude, seriously.
I'm okay with 15. Just the flag is 5 miles.
3 flags, game over.
Yeah. That's my 2 seconds worth of shit.
How about this? Instead of talking about the 13 seconds, okay, because we can talk about that, but we're all gonna be like depressed again and do some weird shit. Just like, man, why do you gotta bring it up? Well, but before we change the subject, whose fault is it? Is it Brandon Beane's, McDermott's, or Leslie Frazier's, Brian?
On the formation?
13 seconds. From 13 seconds fruition to touchdown. Or field goal, sorry.
Who's setting up the defensive formation, man?
Leslie Frazier.
100%.
So you're saying ex Leslie Frazier. You're here first. East Coast Bills backers. Fuck Leslie Frazier. It was his fault.
Yeah. I mean, I love the guy for what he does for our defense in regards, but that one moment in time, that was the biggest fuck up ever. I mean, I don't know what was going on there. Screaming at the screens in here, man. The screens everywhere in this place, and we're screaming at them all.
Can I play devil's advocate?
100%.
This is how good our back office is. Brandon Beane, the coaches, they sit down and go, listen, 13 seconds, whatever. You could have played the best things, but we don't have the solid parts to play what you guys called. Feel me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Miller comes in. Tim Settle comes in. Guys that are coming that can make some plays. That's what we need. We need that extra oomph. So you can play those calls, but we didn't have that. We had a rookie defensive edge who can be a stud, who've only played 12 games a year and a half, 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He never played this amount of games before in his life. And AJ Epinesa, I don't know what the hell he's doing. He got Star Latule. I was surprised he even fucking played. Glad he's gone.
Yeah, that's a big anchor that needed to be dropped. That guy there. So
Dave Caprage gets it. Prevent defense. Okay, there is, a way where you can blame it on that. We can blame it on that. But if you had a solid line, I'm playing devil's advocate here. Okay, playing devil's advocate. I agree. I'm on all about the Frazier. He fucks up one more time. He's fucking act. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. Bye, Felicia. You know what I mean? But I got to play devil's advocate for the fans out there thinking about, well, what about this? Well, there's no excuses now. This is like the Tua, here is your time to shine. Leslie Frazier, here is your time to shine. You got number one defense, and now you got Von Miller.
Yeah, we upgraded huge on the defensive line, man. And like I said earlier, all three phases of it, right? Like we've got 3 levels of trouble now. I mean, man, oh man. How do you feel about Harrison leaving?
I mean, I'll tell you one thing. I didn't want him to leave, but I would have never paid what Minnesota paid.
No.
Never. I mean, good for him for getting it, but not a chance in hell that
he'll be back. He'll be back. Just like Shaq Lawson and or Jordan Phillips.
Man, I like
You know,
those guys. I'll tell
it's
you
like,
what, man. I like
yo,
them. I
go
think they
get
fit the
paid.
system.
Go get paid, but come back. He'll be back eventually. Harrison Phillips, they ask him, they're like, just not gonna buy this. I'll see you when I see you guys. He's coming back. He'll eventually come back. Hope he does good. Hope he has success. But he knows where his home's at. That's how much he means to Buffalo and what he's done to Buffalo outside of football.
100%. No, I agree with you. I do think that Settle and Daquan Jones, man, is a big upgrade where we needed it. We needed those guys. We needed that beef up front.
Oh,
And
I agree.
I like Harrison, man. I thought Harrison was great. I thought that the first season there to come out, motor guy, didn't want to ever shut down. But then when he got injured, I thought he changed a little bit. Took him a year to kind of get back into his groove and stuff. And then he sort of struggled for, what was he in, 4 years? He was at the back end of his rookie contract.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think that he struggled through year 2 and year 3, and then he kind of found it again last year, sort of like mid-season.
He tore his ACL.
Yeah, he got injured. That's a big, that's gonna.
That was a big setback. That's for sure.
And it took him a lot of, actually, believe it or not, it took him, I don't want to say a lot of games. It took him a handful of games to really find his rhythm, get back into things. I mean, towards the end, he was just like, oh, who is this guy? But I wish him nothing but the best. Oh,
yeah, he'll have success.
If you could play armchair GM right now, okay, Brandon Bean, which I'm going to text him right now and say, hey, listen, you got to send me your number so I can send it to Brandon Bean. Hey, I got a guy that's going to be that's going to make the decision for round 1. Here we go, and sent. Okay, you are going to be the caller for the first round draft pick. Who are you picking and why? It doesn't matter if you know the guy or not. Just say, what position are you picking? We'll go. I mean, unless you do know it, fucking great, good for ratings. But if not, it's fine. It's still good for ratings.
I think that based on the fact that who do we have sitting at cornerback right now? I mean, Trey's not going to be back till I think we're here in November, maybe
November,
probably like week 6 or 7. I'd imagine.
Yeah. And what do we have? Like what? Cam Lewis and Dane Jackson, maybe? Is that who's back there?
Yeah, it's Dan and Cam.
So, I mean, you know where I'm going with this. I mean,
don't forget Warren G's son too. He's our third option. Don't even know his name. That's how fucking good I am in that position.
Yeah, it's a relevant thing. So we know where we're going. I think we need to go cornerback. We need a cornerback.
I mean, we got probably arguably the fastest person in the NFL decided to play in Miami.
Well, two of them, man.
I mean, not like Tua's going to fucking throw it to him, but still,
who cares? He's not going to get the ball.
We need to have a guy to be able to, we need another Trey White. I like Levi Wallace, what he did when Trey White was playing. I did not like what Levi Wallace, I can't say Levi Wallace was doing as a CB1. And he couldn't do it. He wasn't physical enough. I'm good. I hope he got that money, but he didn't do nearly as stuff as Harrison Phillips does. Harrison Phillips is loved with the Bills community. Levi Wallace is like, everybody's like, all right, who's next?
Let me ask you this then. Would you look at the idea of going out and getting like Stephon Gilmore if you could, bringing a vet in, maybe a couple of vets?
No, fuck no. We don't want anybody on his way out. That's fine. Trey White, we have enough vets. We have enough the coaching staff alone has enough knowledge. I mean, we've got like assistants to the assistants, even though we got a new OC, up and coming OC, but his assistant offensive coordinator was a Mike Shanahan or whatever. Just guys who has history of should be head coaches. Our offensive line coach should be head coach. It's like what Doug Marrone did for Jacksonville. Even though fuck Doug Marrone because we all hate him.
Not only that, but the way Gilmore left this place, fuck him.
I'm just kind of
I know, and talk so much garbage. No. Yeah. And people are like, well, what about Gronk? Guys, they're scumbags. This is not the culture we need. The culture is winning. The culture is having these people that can represent the team, having a family. We are family on the field and family off the field. But you want these in because you think it's going to get another touchdown? No. Let it come. We got Josh Allen at the helm. Stop it.
And I think, man, with what we did with tight end this year, we've got Dawson Knox and OJ Howard, right?
Yeah.
That's
Hell of a
two solid
combination.
tight ends there.
Hell of a
That's
combination.
a hell of a combination.
Guys,
Absolutely.
OJ Howard, when he was with Tampa, when he was hurt majority of the time.
Yeah.
He never had that full season. And number one, you're going to compare Tampa's athletic facility versus the multi-million dollars that they threw into the Buffalo Bills athletic center. This guy is going, he has the best around medical attention. He is going to thrive, and he's got Josh Allen throwing to him. We don't know OJ Howard's potential.
100%.
He was amazing at Alabama. So I want to see him get back to what he was. And him with Knox, like the two of them, like that's going to be tough to beat.
It's going to be insane.
I'm curious to see how Gabe Davis is going to roll back this year. I mean, he went off like a firecracker last year, man.
Dude, he's going to get his. He's going to get his. I think it's up to the coaching staff to decide if they're going to give him that label. As there's a reason why he is not. Emmanuel Sanders started kind of more on the end. There's a reason why. Maybe it's experience. Maybe it's work ethic. I don't know, because
maturity.
Exactly, maturity. One thing that we don't hear about is what's going on in Sean McDermott's head. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, that's another shot, by the way. Cheers, brother.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, yes. This has been a lot of fun, ladies and gents. Cheers, my man. Brian, thank you so much for joining the show. I'm glad that we're still, active and live, and FBI hasn't raided both mine and Tampa Neil's door yet. Or yours. Actually, well, no, you got bounties to do that. Or what do you guys call them?
This is the serial killer shack. Nobody comes in this place. Just me.
Like, you ever seen like the documentary of like all the seeds in the world are in this one like chamber vault? Well, that's that right there. Ryan, a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. Where can we find you? Where can we find East Coast Bills backers? Where can we stalk Brian? Give us your details, bro.
Just Twitter right now. It was tough trying to reach out multi-platform. So we're on Twitter. It's at East Coast Bills. And that is the spot right now. So
that's awesome.
That's awesome. Love it.
So everybody who is watching this right now, go to Twitter and add the @ East Coast Bills and hit that add a friend button, because Brian, you were awesome. You got to do some more some live stills from the parties down there, because that'd be cool, bro. I love seeing that. I love seeing Bills friends and family get together and doing something that we all love.
It'd be fun to get one of these going live during like a halftime, even for a few minutes, or just do a show during a game night or something. It'd be fun, man.
Oh yeah.
Well, the question is, which game are you going to be going to? The question should be, which game can me and Tampa Neil come up and come hang out in New Brunswick, Canada?
Then we're going to fire this out, because you know what? I'm going to throw that out to you guys now. Is there a chance it's going to happen? We got to see this. We're gonna have to do it. Yeah.
We'll do a Canadian tour. What we'll do a Canadian tour, Tampa Neil. Okay. Whenever we're rich and famous, we'll do well, we don't have to be rich and famous to do this, but we'll go up to New Brunswick, hang out, party for one game. Next game, we'll drive over to the Helmet Bar, hang out, party, drive all the way to Vancouver, hang out, party for the 3-week vacation, bro. We'll do it in RV.
Vancouver. I'm not driving there.
Oh, come on. We can do it, bro. We can do it.
It's a long ass drive.
So we got to set something up, because I've been talking with Blake a little bit with the Bills helmet, and I think we're going to try to set something up maybe so we can hook up with him and Rick, I guess, and the family there. And we're going to try to see if we can catch us and them going to a home game at the same time. Maybe see if we can bring Ken in from Vancouver as well. Get the whole.
That would be up. Listen, man. I want to meet you guys in person, drink some drinks with you in person, do some cheers with you guys in person, and then go through a table, all of us at the same time.
Yes.
It's a good row of tables. We can all take one and we'll do it.
That's awesome, brother. Well, thanks for hopping on, my man. Stop the BS and speak Edmonds.
Okay. Wait. I got this. Edmonds. Brian,
I want to hear that in your Arnold. Actually, I want to hear you do Tampa Neil. I want to hear you do a Canadian. Bring one.
Well, go ahead and stop the BS and speak Edmonds, eh?
So, yeah, I can't even do Canadian. That was a good one, Neil. That was actually pretty impressive, brother. I like that better than your normal voice. Can you do that forever, please?
Well, absolutely there, Mr. Brian.
No, you just sound Western. Hey, how you doing there, lady? Tim Neal. Been epic show, brother. Where can we find Breaking Tables, bro? Bring it home.
You know, Mondays and Thursdays, you can always find us live right here in the Built in Buffalo Network on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitter. Pull us up there, like us, share us, subscribe to us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. This way you know that we're coming up next, so you can watch the next show as well. And tomorrow morning on your drive into work, make sure you pull us up wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Pull us up while you're driving to work, because face reality, morning shows suck, and we're going to make your drive much more entertaining in the morning. Make sure you tell your friends, cousins, aunts, uncles. Don't tell your attorneys.
Very nice. Very nice, Tampa. Way to take it home and put us to sleep at the same time. Very well done. Guys, this is Breaking Tables. This has been so much fun. Brian from East Coast Bills backers, do not go anywhere. Tampa Neal, we will see each other on Monday, because we got Best of Buffalo by Byron, greatest up-and-coming food truck thing that's coming to Western New York. Guys, this is Breaking Tables. Bill in Buffalo. We love you. Brian, don't go anywhere. Bye-bye, everybody. We'll see you guys Monday. Enjoy your weekend.
Go Bills. Go Bills.
Go Bills. I don't know what that was. Fucking troll voice. Love you guys. Go Bills. Bye-bye.